The Senate will come to order. Senator Murphy,
Good morning, Mr. President. I impose a call of the Senate.
the Senate is now under call. Senator Murphy,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that further proceedings under the roll call be dispensed with and that the Sergeant at Arms be instructed to bring in the absent members.
on that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, will you be so kind as to stand? In our tradition, we start with prayer, and today's chaplain is Reverend Luke Stevenson Royer from the First Unitarian Universalist Church in Rochester, Minnesota. As a gentle reminder, following the prayer, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I invite you into a spirit of prayer. Spirit of life and source of love, God and Gaia of 1,000 names and beyond all naming. In these days of noise and squalls of uncertainty in our communities and country, it can feel like the soul is surrounded by bitter winds and swirl like blizzard. And yet yesterday my neighbor cleared the walk for me. And my church elder gave an immigrant mother a ride to the clinic amidst the storm and snow. And we are gathered in this chamber with the mantle of leadership, with both the weight of responsibility and the gift of possibility. Help us remember in the echoes of ancient scriptures the call to do justice and love mercy, to love our neighbor as ourself, which is everyone. And in the midst of biting winds and words, help us remember it is love of neighbor that helps us weather the storm. As in these words sung from my own tradition. May the life I've lived speak for me, and may the love I've shared speak for me. And at the end of my days, when there's nothing more to say, let the love I've shared speak for me. Amen.
Thank you, members. The Secretary will take the roll.
Abler, Anderson, Barr, Bolden, Carlson, Champion, Clark, Coleman, Swadzinski, Dames, Dibble, Dornick, Draheim, Drazkowski, Duckworth, Farnsworth, Fateh, Frentz, Green, Grunhagen, Gustafson, Hochschild, Herr, Hoffman, Housley, Howe, Jasinski, Johnson, Johnson-Stewart, Klein, Coran, Kroon, Kunish, Kupek, Lang, Latz, Liskey, Limmer, Lucero, Mann, Marty, Matthews, May Quaid, McEwen, Miller, Mitchell, Mohammed, Murphy, Nelson, Umu Verbaten, Pappas, Pa, Port, Pratt, Putnam, Rarick, Rasmussen, Rest, Seeberger, Utke, Weber, Wiesenberg, Westland, Westrom, Wickland, Zhang.
Members, a quorum is present. Members, if you want to follow along, I'm reading from today's Senate agenda. It is dated Thursday, March 20th, 2025. We will begin, members, at the second order of business, which is executive and official communications. The secretary will report the communication.
Governor Waltz, I am resigning my seat in the Minnesota Senate for District 6 effective immediately. I must focus on personal matters at this time. It has been an honor to serve in the Minnesota Senate. Sincerely, Justin Eichhorn.
Member, there is no action required as a result of that executive and official communication. We will now move to the third order of business, which is messages from the House. The secretary will read the first message.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce the passage by the House of the following Senate concurrent resolution herewith returned. Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 3, a Senate concurrent resolution relating to the Regent Nomination Joint Committee. Signed, Patrick Duffy Murphy, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives.
And members, remember, no action is required. The secretary will read the next message.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce the passage by the House of the following House files herewith transmitted. House file numbers 438, 747, 944, 1034, 1058, 1346, 1401, 1410, and 1443. Signed, Patrick Duffy Murphy, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives.
Again, members, no action is required. We will now proceed to the fourth order of business, which is first reading of House bills. The House files have been given their first reading and referred as indicated. Members will continue and will now go to the fifth order of business, which is reports of committees. Senator Murphy for a motion to adopt the committee reports.
Mr. President, I move the committee reports printed in the agenda be adopted.
On the adoption of committee reports, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we will now proceed to the sixth order of business, which is second reading of Senate bills. The secretary will read the Senate file numbers.
Senate file number 2439.
The Senate files have been given their second reading. Members, we'll now proceed to the eighth order of business, which is introduction and first reading of Senate bills. The bills listed on today's introduction calendar are given their first reading and referred as indicated, with the following changes. Members, if you will go to page number 3, you'll see Senate file number 2709. That bill is referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety. If you proceed to page number 5, you will see Senate file number 2730. That bill is referred to the Committee on Taxes. If you go to page 11, members, you will see on page 11, Senate file number 2786. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Veterans, Broadband, and Rural Development. Members, if you then go to page number 13, you will see Senate file number 2805. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Human Services. If you go to page number 14, you'll see Senate file number 2819. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection. Last but certainly not least, members, if you go to page number 16, you'll see Senate file number 2836, and that bill has been referred to the Committee on State and Local Governments. As I mentioned, members, the bills listed on today's introduction calendar are given their first reading and referred as indicated. Members, we will now proceed to the ninth order of business, which is motions and resolutions. Members, we will adopt the author's motions as one motion. All in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, there will be some individual motions at this time. The first one, I'm going to call on Senator Lang.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 1299 be withdrawn from the Committee on Capital Investment and re-referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Veterans, Broadband, and Rural Development.
And Senator Lang, did you have an opportunity to speak to both chairs, and is this your bill?
It is my bill, Mr. President, and yes, I have talked to both chairs, and they gave me the thumbs up.
Thank you, Senator Lang. Senator Lang moves that Senate file number 1299 be withdrawn from the Committee on Capital Investments and re-referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Veterans, Broadband, and Rural Development. On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we will now go to Senator Westland for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 2019 be withdrawn from the Committee on Education Finance and re-referred to the Committee on Education Policy. This is my bill, and I have spoken with both committee chairs.
Thank you, Senator Westland. Senator Westland moves that Senate file number 2019 be withdrawn from the Committee on Education Finance and re-referred to the Committee on Education Policy. On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We will now go to Senator McEwen for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File number 2044 be withdrawn from the Committee on Environment, Climate, and Legacy and re-referred to the Committee on Higher Education. This is my bill, and the chairs are in agreement.
Thank you, Senator McEwen. Senator McEwen moves that Senate file number 2044 be withdrawn from the Committee on Environment, Climate, and Legacy and re-referred to the Committee on Higher Education. On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we'll now go to Senator Port.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 2205 be withdrawn from the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection and be re-referred to the Committee on Housing and Homelessness Prevention. This is my bill, and I have talked to the chairs.
Thank you, Senator Port. Senator Port moves that Senate file number 2205 be withdrawn from the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection and re-referred to the Committee on Housing and Homelessness Prevention. On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We'll now go to Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 2285 be withdrawn from the Committee on Education Policy and re-referred to the Committee on Education Finance. This is my bill. I've spoken to both chairs, and they are in agreement.
Thank you so much, Senator Lucero. Senator Lucero moves that Senate file number 2285 be withdrawn from the Committee on Education Policy and re-referred to the Committee on Education Finance. On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We'll now go to Senator Pratt for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that Senate File 2456 be withdrawn from the Committee on Environment, Climate, and Legacy and be re-referred to the Committee on Energy, Utilities, Environment, and Climate. This is my bill, and I've spoken with both chairs.
Thank you, Senator Pratt. Senator Pratt moves that Senate file number 2456 be withdrawn from the Committee on Environment, Climate, and Legacy and re-referred to the Committee on Energy, Utilities, Environment, and Climate. To that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We'll now go back to Senator Port for another motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 2517 be withdrawn from the Committee on State and Local Government and re-referred to the Committee on Elections. This is my bill, and I've talked to both chairs.
Thank you, Senator Port. Senator Port moves that Senate file number 2517 be withdrawn from the Committee on State and Local Governments and re-referred to the Committee on Elections. To that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We will now go to Senator Seeberger for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that Senate File number 2546 be withdrawn from the Committee on Health and Human Services and re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety. This is my bill, and the chairs of both committees are in agreement.
Thank you, Senator Seeberger. Senator Seeberger moved that Senate File number 2546 be withdrawn from the Committee on Health and Human Services and re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety. To that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we'll proceed to Senate Resolution number 20, that will be referred to the Committee on Rules and Administration, and no action is required. We'll now proceed to the concurrent resolution number 4. The Secretary will report Senate concurrent resolution number 4.
Senators Murphy and Johnson introduced Senate concurrent resolution number 4, a Senate concurrent resolution adopting deadlines for the 2025 regular session.
Senator Murphy for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to adopt Senate concurrent resolution number 4.
To the resolution, Senator Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. Senate concurrent resolution number 4 adopts the deadlines for our work this session. The deadlines in this resolution apply to 2025, the regular session. The first and second deadlines are Friday, April 4th, 2025 at 5 p.m., and the third deadline is Friday, April 11th, 2025 at 12 p.m. I ask for your support.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? Any discussion on the resolution? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, we will now proceed to the 13th order of business, which is announcements of Senate interest. Without objection, the following senators will be excused from today's session. Senator Mitchell. Any other announcements of Senate interest? Seeing none, Senator Murphy for a motion.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until Monday, March 24th at 11 a.m.
On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. The Senate is now adjourned.